this video, we're going to learn about the for loop. So let's actually create a file here, a new JavaScript file. Let's call it 13 loops.js. And each time we're done with a loop, we're going to copy it in there. So after each video, please copy everything that we wrote in your loops.js. Okay, so the for loop. As I said, these are statements. And the for loop statement creates a loop that consists of three optional expressions, then closed by parentheses and separated by semicolons, followed by a statement, usually a block statement, to be executed in the loop. So for loops taking three parameters separated by semicolons. So it would look something like this: for, then parentheses, then will come a variable, we usually call it I. Actually, we have to declare, so let I, and quick note, always use var or let here, never use const, because this I will constantly change. So it cannot be a constant, it needs to be a variable. So let's say I equals to 0, then semicolon. Then we need a condition, so as long as I is less than something, it could be greater than, less than, greater or equal, and less than or equal. So this will be the condition, then separated again by semicolons, and then comes the iterator, which is I plus plus. And this basically just means, let me type it in here, I equals to I plus 1. Okay, so this is what I means. We could also do this by 3 and it will iterate 3 through it, but this just adds 1 to I. So I times 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so I'm going to just leave this in as a comment. Then comes the semicolon, and within here we need the statement. Okay, so this is basically how a for loop looks. So let's create a for loop. So for parentheses, let I equal to 0, then as long as I is less than 6, and now let's increment it I plus plus, and this should then console log I, the variable. Okay, and as soon as we hit save, this goes from 0 to 5, so 6 iterations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I would change this to 5, let's say, then it will only iterate until 4 and then stop. So basically the for loop goes until this is true. If I would type in here less than or equal to 5, then it will stop at 5. I wouldn't use this. I would always use less than. This is more precise. Now let's say we want to iterate it 2 times. See, this is iterating, but this is also an infinite loop, and this will break our JavaScript now. So let me just stop this and also comment this out. Now let's create an array of cars. Let me actually delete this. So let's say cars, a constant, let's call it cars, and we'll set it to an array which will have a string of Tesla, then a Audi, then a BMW, and a Dacia. In order for us to loop through this array, let's use our for loop, and let's say let, I'm going to use C this time, C is equal to 0, and as long as C is less than cars dot length, because we need the length of the array, here we don't have numbers, and let's iterate C plus plus. Okay, and now I'm just going to console log our array of cars, and I'm going to use a variable of C. As you can see, it will loop through each item of the array and paste out each string within that array. Okay, so that's it for our for loop. So let's cut this out and paste it into our loops. Okay, so see you in the next video. Bye bye.